And so it began. Shade was going to die, and I was powerless to stop it.
After Darius gives us an opening monologue, Uncle Fuckus announces to the rest of their plan to use an artifact known as the Zapper Dex. However, skeletons approach and take out Fuckle, initiating a fight. In the commotion, Uncle Fuckus is wounded and speaks to Shade, telling him to find the Zapper Dex on Isla de los Muertos, with instructions of how to get it. But before he could finish, he is taken out, and as Shade escapes in a jeep and is chased, Fuckle is too dead, but Uncle Fuckus quickly recovers, takes out skeleton forces before being fought by Violet. The captain is able to take out the tube, with the rest of the crew attempting to kill Shade, with that eventually seemingly so coming true. We cut back to Darius, hearing the news of Shade's demise by Caitlin. However, we see Shade in fact survived. Darius monologues but met with zero, the two proceeding to break out. Okay, first things first, I'm going to go over some stuff said by the breakdown of the previous episode. The artifact in which Uncle Fuckus was talking about is the Zapper Dex. We learned that it's found on Isla de los Muertos. Do I say that right? Isla de los Muertos. I know what it means, Island of the Dead. However, we know from Fuckus in a bit that there's instructions to relieve it via puzzles and knocks. That or find Eggman. However, we're unable to know what he said as he was shot by Lewis again. I know that it's a little ahead, but what exactly was Eggman gonna make it easier? He's a technological engineer and is generally a foe of just about everyone, especially Sonic. Did I ever mention he's one of my favorite characters? I love him. I guess we'll see. Or not. Backing up a bit as Uncle Fuckus was talking about the Zapper Dex, he said to defeat Killian they need to create a Mega Glock. I guess the Zapper Dex has something to do with it, because he mentions it. Though, listening to it again, it sounds more like he was adding on with the artifact, rather than it being a part of the Mega Glock. That, and he may have just said the Zapper Dex use, to be used to disable artifacts. Does the Zapper Dex do this? We know the Mickey Dex is used as a welder's blowtorch for other artifacts, so I guess artifacts can have effects on other artifacts. Only time will tell about the artifacts. I said artifacts a lot. The skeleton crew initiate their attack, and yeah, I'm gonna go over some stuff about them. Not all out lore, I'm sure I will do that once 6 and another project comes out, but for now, I'll go over their ranks and stuff. Prior to the season's premiere, or sometime after maybe, Buck made these informative renders about the ranks of the skeleton crew. These guys are the demo list, and if you want to read more, I'll leave their cards up on the screen for a bit. This guy's a pilot, the only one we actually see in this episode in the season, I believe. Hornet 1 is his tag. We didn't see them in this episode, but as I talked a bit in episode 5's breakdown, he's a sniper. Red pads are shotgunners, which demolists are a subclass of, and the rest, as we can see, are infantry. Just general skellies. Here's the rest of which we haven't seen yet. This will be on screen for you to pause and read. Moving on, they're able to take out Fungal and Fuckus, with Uncle Fuckus getting shot by Lewis. As I talked about earlier, Fuckus tells him to go to Isla de los Muertos to find the Zapper Dex or find Eggman. When Shade escapes in a vehicle, Lewis is informed and gets his own, as we'll see. We get a dope-ass animation of Fuckus ripping and tearing. Then we see Violet join the fray. Look at her. So cool. Honestly, I love that tad look of animation where she has like the dark purple, whilst the Machinima she has, like the black and purple. I think it's cool. Now, moving on to a barely seen detail, in which Buck actually told me in some others before the episode even came out as a quick peek. Right? Did I see this episode before it came out? I'm pretty sure. If you look closely, you can actually see in the final shot of her and Fuckle fighting at one another. You can actually see Fuckle laid a shot on her, blood splattering from her arm. Oh, and as I recall, she had some sort of origin related to something Western, whether a person or such, I can't quite remember, but I think she had gotten this pose or skill of such from someone. I'm not sure on that, but I feel like that was something Buck said, possibly related to the Old West, though that was 40-ish years prior, and that's if the timely page on the fandom is even still accurate. Moving on to the chase, which doesn't really have a lot aside from the reel of Lewis tank and accidentally blowing up his skeletons. Oh, also throwing it out there, we hear this barrier is referred to as a Raptor team, which we did hear previously, but I missed that. Run and gun ensues, with Shade taking out Hornet 1, taking the ride, of course being shot down by Lewis. I'm recapping. We and Darius are led to believe that Shade has died, the percentage being low by Kaylin's math. And as I said earlier, we can actually see he survived. So how is Kaylin so wrong? Ain't gonna play dumb, we actually know why in an episode or two. Also, who was this supposed to be? I know it's a reason for Shade to somehow get a vehicle, but it's not Buck voicing him, so like a cameo or maybe a reference. I don't know, but I find it kind of funny. Where we see Darius saying to himself to escape again, or try to, Zero is suddenly there. We get no explanation of how he did it, but we know it's due to something deeper and darker. Anyway, aside from theories, this video is about done. There's just not much to get ideas from the action scenes. Merely catching references, callbacks, little details, and that's about it. But this episode was feckin' fantastic, and the next one is pretty dope too. Okay, an apology. I've said this time and time again that I'm known to procrastinate, and I don't think I've had such a lazy 3 months in a long time. And I've barely done anything. And that's more than just a fan channel too. My own project I've taken a hit, resulting in other projects being delayed, and I'm trying to recover that time to get things done. Sure, there was some stuff able to seep through for a sudden burst of motivation, but these breakdowns were especially a thing on this channel that needs to get done before 6, and who knows if I will. I won't make promises when episode 7 Intruder Alert will be released, but hopefully I can build around the schedule I had in mind for 2025 again. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please comment your own thoughts and theories, if any. Alright, bye, table lovers.